Hello, stranger. What brings you out here to this fine wilderness?
I am contemplating what desire truly means. Do men want what they think they want? Or do they truly want what they don't know they want, but their innermost wants want?
Are you saying that because the water here inspires you?
No, I'm here because my friend got pissed at me for biting off the head of his pet chinchilla.
Wait, I thought we're here to review Stalker.
Yeah, we are. That's what we're spoofing.
Not the CBS TV show.
No, the 1979 Andrei Tarkovsky movie. Did you even watch it? It's all right. What my eye has seen, let me now reflect to you in reality.
Примерно лет 20 тому назад здесь будто бы упал метеорит. Спалил дотла поселок. Метеорит этот искали, ну и, конечно, ничего не нашли.
Почему, конечно?
Потом тут стали пропадать люди.
Stalker is the story of a man who leads two dudes into a forbidden and mysterious area called the Zone, where supposedly you can get your wishes granted or some other bullshit. The movie is made by Russian director Andrei Tarkovsky, so it's full of long, boring shots of people standing around, not really doing anything. Joining me today is Nate.
Hey, how's it going?
Whom you might have recognized from our 2014 end of year recap, and he's our face behind the camera.
Basically, I do most of the shooting, lighting, whatever they need me to be. Puppeteer, dead rat,
Fake blood maker.
fake blood, special effects. Basically, I'm their go-to person if they need me for anything.
But anyway, so Nathan, you've seen one other Tarkovsky movie before.
I saw Solaris before watching this
Okay.
one.
And how does this one compare to that?
It's very different. I think this one moves a lot slower than, I believe, Solaris. But at the same time, I like it a little bit better. I think I like the photography in Stalker a little bit better than what they did with Solaris.
Yeah?
For some reason, I kind of like the way they captured light in this movie a little bit better. How they actually used their environment very well, even though they shot like in just the wilderness, like 90% of the time.
Pretty much where the entire movie is spent, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically in a dump.
Pretty much. A
Pretty
beautiful
much.
dump.
A beautiful dump. Which Tchaikovsky's good at doing.
He is. He loves making grimy stuff look cool.
And there's a lot of grimy stuff in this movie.
I like to think that Tarkovsky was just kind of like, all right, we're going to shoot this big science fiction movie. It's going to be awesome. And then, like, the studio's like, all right, you get $5 to make your movie. Son of a bitch, where am I going to shoot this thing now? I guess I'll just go out into some wilderness and shoot it. So, Nathan, what did you think of the... sometimes I have a problem with his pacing, sometimes not. I'm actually a really big fan of Tarkovsky. He's one of my favorite directors. But all of his movies have a long, slow, plodding pace, and it takes their time.
It does.
Now, with some of his films, I don't mind that because I'm really genuinely interested in what the films are. I liked it in Solaris. I didn't mind it because I was invested in the movie.
Yeah.
In Stalker, I was invested in what was going on, so I didn't mind it there. In Ivan's Childhood, I didn't mind it either. Stalker, out of all of his movies, I think that one has the least amount of stuff going on. Like 90% of the movie is just guys walking in a field. But because I'm interested in what's going on and I'm interested in these particular characters, I didn't mind. I thought it was a really interesting movie. Whether or not other people will find it that way, I highly doubt it.
However, there is actually one scene which I felt the pace scene actually worked perfectly. The tunnel scene.
Well, you see, I have a list, a chart, you will, of top 3 reasons why everyone should watch a Tarkovsky movie, but nobody does.
Okay.
The first reason is there going to be a chart there? I thought there was going to be a chart.
Yeah. You made this up, right?
Yeah, I edited this after. Okay, there it is.
Oh,
I was just late.
It was just late,
stupid piece of technology.
Yeah.
Anyway, first reason is that the films benefit from multiple viewings, which is something you can't really say for very many movies these days. But not only does it benefit from them, but a lot of times it requires it, because sometimes you'll watch a Tarkovsky movie, and just to get more of it and find out what happened exactly, and find the themes in it, you really have to watch it over and over again, which could be a bad thing for some movies. For Tarkovsky movies, it's like peeling layers of a tasty onion. The downside to that is that very few people, I think, will actually sit through one of his movies one time.
Yep.
Because of how long and slow they are. The second thing about Tarkovsky movies is that the plots are really straightforward, really interesting, but the downside to that is that people very rarely know what the hell is going on unless you research it on Wikipedia afterwards. And then the third and final piece of my chart is that the films are really interesting just from a, I guess, I don't want to say philosophical standpoint, just thematic standpoint, moral standpoint, ethical standpoint. He infuses his views and his views of living in Soviet Russia into these movies. And it's really fascinating because he tries to sneak them in there without being too overt about it.
Well, being too preachy about it as well.
Yeah, but the downside to that is that everyone has their own interpretation of a Tarkovsky movie, and people get into arguments about it, and so I found that there were 3 major archetypes in this movie. There's the writer, there's the professor, and then there's the stalker himself.
Although I'd actually maybe say 5, because there is his wife and the child, Monkey. Although I'm not even sure why they call her Monkey, because she's not climbing trees, she's not playing around like a monkey. It doesn't make any sense.
It's because she's crippled.
Oh.
I thought it was interesting that the scientific mind, which was supposed to be the most skeptical, ends up being the one that believes in it so fervently
that he's afraid of what he may become as a result of it.
Well, not just him. He's afraid of what people will want as a result of it. He says the reason he wants to destroy the zone is because people have terrible desires, and he doesn't want that to come to fruition.
Yeah, he's definitely aware of the result end of just what the zone is, and how down the line, what is that going to do to all of mankind.
So I kind of saw it as almost like an allegory for religion in a way, because he's afraid of the government kind of keeping that down and want to keep people away from it, and people looking at it from different viewpoints, basically.
That's one way of looking at it. The way I looked at it, I mean, if you kind of think about it, there is that whole theme at the very end where his wife is actually talking about happiness in a way. And you kind of think about it, each character, the writer, the professor, and even Stalker, want to find something that brings peace, that brings happiness, solitude in their life. In a way, the zone is kind of like that place of solitude. Like even when they're out there, and it's kind of eerie and very ominous.
And that's one of the beautiful things about Tarkovsky movies, is that there's no one way of looking at them.
Yeah.
And not only that, but they're never about just one thing.
No, they're not.
You have multiple things going on. You have the idea of desire
Mm-hmm.
and wants. You have the idea of marriage, what a good marriage is.
Yeah.
They work that in there. What sacrifice is about, and what giving up what you want. There's just so much in there.
It is. It's really hard to say it is just one thing.
If you're into slow-moving Russian art films, of course.
Which by the time when you're a senior, you probably will be, because everything will move like that.
What are you saying, that only old people are gonna like Tarkovsky movies?
No, of
Just
course
some
not.
Some older guy just like sitting in his retirement home like, I'm gonna watch Stalker now.
Hey guys, who wants to watch Solaris with me? Huh?
So Nathan, what did you think of Stalker?
I liked it. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I missed the first time around. Now, maybe if I watched it again, I might kind of come to a bit more of a conclusion I think you have about the film and what it's about. For me, I definitely think it's a very interesting study and portrait of man's quest for happiness, and how in some way we're never going to fully find it, just because there's so many factors that we put in our way to actually achieve it.
Yeah, I find it a fascinating movie. Again, this is just my second time watching the movie. One of the great things about it is that there is so much to it. If you give it a chance, maybe you'll like it, maybe you'll get bored by it, but I say check it out. If you get bored 10 minutes in, that's okay. Totally understandable. Tarkovsky makes long, boring movies.
Mm-hmm.
I just frankly find them fascinating for the most part.
Yeah, unfortunately, if there only could be more Andrei Tchaikovskys in the world. If only.
Nate? Nathan? Nathan? До свидания, маленькая.